Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. How does a mother uniquely train her children? Now, I want to broaden this out. Yes, I do believe that raising our children, okay, please understand what I'm going to say. To say I raised my kids in church is not enough.
Right.
This building is not going to save them.
Right.
It's going to help. But it's what's taught in the car, what's taught before they go to bed, what's taught at the breakfast table, what's taught in the home. Those lessons, that is training a child in the way they should go. You're teaching them about assembling themselves together. They're going to have activities and opportunities to minister and to be ministered to corporately here. But the real thing that's going to keep your kids is what happens at home.
Mm-hmm.
You spend more time with them, influencing them at home than we ever spend influencing them here at church. Okay, so a lot of people say, well, I raised my kids in church. But okay, let's compare the way they lived at home. How did the parents act one with another? What kind of things did they talk about? What kind of activities were they involved in? What did they allow their kids to do? But yet they came to church.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids saw the difference. There was no life of living for God at home. There was no action, no implementing of Christ at home. It was just, we go to church. So you go to Sunday school and you should know right from wrong because you heard it in Sunday school.
Just because
it's impossible. It's impossible, right? I teach my kids probably more things in the car than I do anywhere else. We have conversations in the car. We deal with attitudes. We deal with conversations. We deal with all kinds of stuff. We talk all the time in the car. That's where we have more training than anywhere else. We have training at the table, the dinner table. We talk about things. Then I call them in whenever I feel like there's an attitude or whatever. We talk all the time. There's always training. Doing devotions together at home. They don't necessarily get to talk it through in Sunday school. They're learning.
Right.
Sunday school is important. It's huge. I would never want my children to miss it. But I never can let the church replace my responsibility.
Right.
Okay, now, so that said, yes, train up a child in the way they should go does mean living for God at home, but it also means bringing them to the house of God. But train up a child in the way they should go. If your child is given to taking care of animals and nurturing, then you should probably encourage them to go into some field that has to do with nurturing and taking care of people or animals, or that's training them up in the way they should go. If your child always likes to talk about stuff and explain things and teach, then you probably should encourage them somehow to get involved in teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Train them up in the way they should go. If your child is militant, Jonathan's militant, he likes that. So I'm not saying that it's the Lord's will for him to go into the military, but he would be excellent at that. And I know what he's good at. He's good at militaries, and I've told him, I'm like, son, you'd be great in the military, you'd be a great politician, you'd be a great lawyer, you'd be a great judge, you'd be a great history teacher, because I'm helping him see all these different ideas of what he would just very naturally be good at. He's also a great musician, so when he talks about his dreams about music, I'm like, yes, I can see you doing that. How are you going to provide for your family while you're starting this? So why don't you become a history teacher while you also study music, because you can teach in a high school, have the summers off, have the weekends off, you have your health care, you can be a teacher while you're branching off into the music thing. So then when you get really good at it, you can switch, just kind of helping them. Kagan's great at art. Kagan's a great singer. Kagan is I haven't quite figured all of him out because he's so creative. It's like that blows my mind because I'm just not. Whew. But it's so neat doing that. I read a book called Different Children, Different Needs. So I would suggest you write that down. Different Children, Different Needs. And it does a great job explaining, like this one mom, she's a socialite. Okay, that's her personality. She did things publicly. Everything was a show. But it wasn't really about that. She was a good person, and she did great things. But everything was about ta-da. She was in dramas. She was a cheerleader. She was everything out front, up front, blah, 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 blah. She was in dancing and all this kind of, okay, you get the picture of the person now? So she has a daughter, and her daughter is a reader. She's introverted. She's more research oriented. She's more one or two friends. She doesn't want to be in a crowd of people, and her mom's trying to push her. You need to go be a cheerleader. You need to be in dance. You need to be, okay. And the girl grew up resenting her mother, hating herself, always feeling incompetent, when in truth, she was really great at science. She would have been a great scientist who does all the research in the labs, she would have been content and happy to have been in that place and excelled and helped many people maybe. But her mom could only see the way she was and didn't understand the way her daughter was. And this woman now has a daughter who wants to be in the cheerleading and who wants to be in the dance. And so now she's annoyed and going, I don't want her. This is frivolous and this is shallow and then she realizes, oh my goodness, I'm doing my own mother to my daughter. So seeing our children for who they are, the bend, God, did you design any of your children? No. And you had no control over their personalities and their talents. God did.
No, because they're definitely not like me. I don't know where they got their stuff from.
So say, Lord, help me to train them up in the way they should go. If this kid is good at science, this kid is good with animals, get them some animals. Or connect them to a farm, connect them to a dog pound, whatever. Get them connected to something that will develop them in that area. If this kid is good at organizing, then help them, just whatever it may be. Find a niche for them and let them get involved in doing things so that they can feel good about who they are and begin to discover their gifts and their talents and their strengths. Because we all need to know what we're good at.